chosen one. Stop scrolling. Something drew you here, and deep down, you already know why. The 22nd of February isn't ordinary. For you, it is a 24-hour catalyst, a moment when heaven intervenes to unlock what has been frozen in place. I am not being dramatic. Your spirit is confirming what your logic is still processing. Most people will pass through today unaffected. They will watch, laugh, sleep, and move on. But you have felt it building, that restlessness, that internal pressure, that silent question. Why hasn't anything moved, despite everything I am doing? Here is my question for you, and I want you to answer in the comments. What is the one area where you need momentum right now? Career, relationship, health, inner peace? Drop one word or a short phrase below. I will be praying over every comment today. Your response isn't just participation, it is a declaration. You are telling heaven, I am ready, I am paying attention. I will not miss this, because here is what is happening behind the scenes. Something is breaking, not your life, your limitations. That invisible barrier you have been pushing against. The one that made progress feel exhausting and impossible. The 22nd of February marks the day it begins to fracture, and the collapse will not be subtle. This kind of transformation doesn't knock politely. It arrives like thunder in a quiet room. You might feel it as sudden restlessness, an overwhelming urge to change something, a sharp knowing that whispers, I cannot stay here anymore. That is not anxiety attacking you. That is God pressuring what has been blocking your path. Because what is coming next requires space. When heaven upgrades your season, intensity arrives first. Everything feels heavier. People act differently. Old connections fade without drama. Unstable situations start collapsing. Not because you are under siege, but because misaligned elements cannot follow where you are headed. Here is the truth most miss. Blessings don't always start with abundance. Sometimes they start with release. Release of delays, release of confusion, release of almost and not yet. Over the next 24 hours, watch for patterns. Sealed doors loosen. Critical information surfaces at perfect timing. People remember you unexpectedly. Opportunities form in the background before you ask. Your timeline becomes magnetic. You will catch yourself thinking, why is everything suddenly accelerating? Because heaven doesn't respond to panic, it responds to alignment. And this window doesn't open for everyone. It opens for those who have been refined through fire, tested under pressure, and still remain standing. If today feels unusual, that is confirmation. There is holy urgency in the atmosphere, a spark in your core, a quiet certainty that something's turning. When God activates a prophetic window, your body knows before your mind catches up. These next 24 hours may feel strange. Time sharpens, thoughts intensify. Small things happen too fast to dismiss. You might notice repeating numbers, a sudden chill, a flash of clarity, even DJ view that makes you pause and think, what just happened? Those aren't accidents. That is heaven tapping your shoulder saying, pay attention. I am rearranging your life. And once this momentum starts, watch what unfolds. People appear out of nowhere. Conversations pivot in one sentence. Messages arrive at the exact moment you need them. What you thought would take months happens in days. What required struggle shows up with ease. That is not luck, that is divine precision. But understand, this window doesn't just bring acceleration, it also brings separation. Don't be shocked if something starts getting removed. A toxic connection, a draining habit, a situation keeping you small. When God wants your blessing to arrive faster, He often clears what slows you down. Your emotions may spike. You might feel sudden truth you cannot unsee, pressure that feels overwhelming, even though nothing visible changed yet. That is because your inner world is synchronizing with what God's doing in the unseen. You are being positioned so miracles can land without resistance. Over these 24 hours, you exit stagnation and enter rhythm. What felt distant starts touching your reality. You become magnetic to what belongs to you. Not because you earned it, but because you are becoming the version who can hold it. Now listen closely, because this is where people miss everything. When the 22nd of February activates, you will not just feel energy. You will see evidence. If even one of these appears today, pay attention. 1. Sudden body chills. Not from temperature or fear, like electricity through your spine. It comes fast and leaves fast. Your spirit recognizing movement before your mind labels it. 2. An unexpected message from someone unusual, a dormant connection, a new person. Words that answer questions you didn't speak aloud. When God accelerates, communication shifts first. 3. Intentional silence. Not loneliness. Space distractions fall away. Noise decreases. The world steps back to make room for what is entering. That quiet isn't emptiness. It is preparation. 4. Vivid, weighted dreams, faces, places, numbers, symbols too specific to ignore. Sometimes heaven speaks when everything else finally quiets. 5. Angel numbers hitting at exact moments. Not just patterns, appearing when your spirit stirs, clocks, receipts, license plates. It follows you because it is marking divine timing. 6. Emotional release waves. Not panic. More like something inside finally exhaling tears. Without reason, gratitude before proof. Peace while circumstances remain unchanged. The weight lifts before evidence appears. 7. Energy surges or holy restlessness. Your mind sharpens, your spirit lightens. You feel driven, alert, unable to sit still, momentum building. Your timeline catching fire. 8. DJ view moments. That eerie sensation you have lived this before. It happens when your life realigns with your original destiny path. 9. Pressure dissolving. A fear loses grip. Tension you carried for months evaporates. Painful memories lose their sting. The old season breaking, so the new can take over. These signs don't appear softly. They strike with precision, warning you the old life is ending, while confirming the blessing is already moving. If even one manifests today, hear me, your breakthrough isn't crawling. It is sprinting, faster than you planned, faster than anything you have experienced. These aren't entertainment. They are heaven tuning you to recognize speed when God releases it. Most dismiss them as coincidence, mood swings, random moments. They miss the message, then miss the moment. But you are still here. That means you are not missing anything. You are receiving it. Now here is what nobody warns you about. Right before breakthrough, pressure often spikes. On the 22nd of February, that intensity can roar louder than usual, like shadows gathering before dawn breaks. If today feels heavier, if old wounds resurface, if doubts scream louder, if obstacles multiply, don't interpret that as defeat. This isn't decline. It is final purification before elevation. When God shifts seasons fast, old weight exits fast, and release is rarely neat. You are not under attack. You are being refined. You are not blocked. You are being positioned. You are not punished. You are being prepared. If today feels dense, the answer is often closer than you think. If tension rises, breakthrough is near. That pressure isn't the end. It is the signal the beginning is arriving. There comes a moment when heaven stops hinting and starts delivering. When things pivot from slow build to instant impact. When God moves like that, it is like lightning, quick, brilliant, impossible to ignore. You may feel atmosphere change, like air has weight, like something's approaching, locking into place. Your intuition sharpens, thoughts clarify. Deep down, you sense imminent arrival. That is not imagination. That is divine collision, rearranging your life from inside out. The miracle hits your inner world first. You feel it spiritually before seeing it physically. That is why you may experience sudden hope or clarity mismatched to current circumstances. Excitement you cannot explain, your spirit recognizing what your eyes haven't witnessed yet. Then impossible timing starts. The right conversation at the right second, an opportunity with zero warning, a door opening exactly when needed, a person arriving with information or support that fits too perfectly to be random. That is not chance. That is God's precision. Notice the pattern. Revelation follows intensity. After you have been stretched, after testing, after exhaustion, the fight makes room for miracles. The wait makes room for wins. Nothing you felt was wasted. It was training, preparation, refinement. That is why the 22nd of February matters. This is the window where things begin moving rapidly, where destiny stops resisting and starts advancing. You might not see the complete picture yet, but you feel it, and when it lands, everything transforms. Stay with me, because this next part separates those who witness breakthrough from those who sustain it. If you are still watching, it is not accident. It is proof your timeline entered acceleration. What is approaching isn't slow, isn't uncertain, isn't delayed. It is sudden, intense, life-altering. And even if you cannot see it yet, heaven is already rearranging people, situations, and outcomes in your favor. The next 24 hours will not feel like normal time. There is gravity to them, spiritual weight that draws progress toward you in ways that seem impossible. Something you have been awaiting, months, maybe years, can finally enter motion. It will not be messy or confusing. It will be clean, precise, like pieces clicking into place on purpose. The right person responds. The right door opens. The right opportunity finds you. Timing locks so perfectly you will think, there is no way this is random. And that calm appearing from nowhere, that sudden confidence, that is often confirmation your prophetic timeline activated. What felt stalled starts arriving. What felt blocked starts loosening. What felt impossible starts forming. Not because you figured it out, but because alignment entered the room. Listen carefully. The 22nd of February isn't just energy. It is authority. The kind of day when God overrides delay, breaks cycles, and reverses outcomes that look permanent. It is when heaven says, enough, enough waiting, enough suffering, enough carrying what you were never meant to carry forever. You have been in wilderness long enough. You have been stretched long enough. You have been rebuilt in darkness long enough. Now your season is pivoting, not gradually. Suddenly, sometimes the transformation happens while you are still listening. A sealed door cracks, a hidden path becomes obvious. A blessing on hold starts moving again. This isn't motivation. This is what happens when God's timing meets your readiness, and miracles stop being rare and start becoming inevitable. You are in that convergence right now. For some, confirmation will be extremely practical. In the next few hours, you will receive something that changes direction. A call, email, text, message, conversation. It will seem random, but it is orchestrated. When it comes, don't ignore it. Don't overthink it. Don't let fear talk you out of what God is placing in your hands. Sometimes the message is the breakthrough wearing disguise. For others, the pivot happens internally first. Sudden clarity about next steps. A missing puzzle piece that solves months of struggle. A fully formed idea dropping into your mind like it was planted there. That is not imagination. That is revelation. Write it down, act on it, honor it, and some will not see external change immediately, but you will feel internal release. Deeper breathing, lighter spirit, anxiety easing, confusion clearing. That isn't relief. That is one timeline breaking and another taking its place. Treat these next 24 hours as sacred. Pay attention to what stands out. Pay attention to who reaches out. Pay attention to what keeps repeating in your spirit. Today requires awareness, not paranoia. Awareness. You don't force anything. You just stay awake enough to recognize what God is doing. There is a reason you are here right now. Out of millions of videos, endless noise, infinite distractions, you landed here. That is not accident. That is assignment. You were meant to hear this, meant to receive this confirmation. Don't let doubt steal the moment. Don't let fear convince you it is too good to be true. Don't let old disappointments block what God is doing now. This is different. This time is different. The 22nd of February is different. You were faithful in darkness. Now you are about to be rewarded in light. You obeyed when it made no sense. Now you are about to understand why. Every tear, every lonely night, every prayer that felt unheard, none of it was wasted. It led you here, and now the window is open. Heaven is in motion. This isn't the moment to just hope. This is the moment to receive. You don't need perfection. You don't need every answer. You don't even need to feel ready. You need one thing. Your yes to the door. Yes to the timing. Yes to the divine plan, unfolding faster than logic explains. Say yes even if you are nervous. Say yes even if you don't understand yet, because your yes is the key unlocking what God already prepared. One day, one window, one opportunity to step into the timeline you were always meant to inhabit. Before you go, do two things. Drop your one-word answer in the comments. What area needs movement? And make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss what is coming next. Because if today is opening your window, tomorrow might deliver your instructions. Receive it right now, chosen one. Open your hands, open your heart, open your life. Let the prophecy become real, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Now today, the 22nd of February, is your moment. The waiting is over. The pivot is active. The victory is moving. Welcome to your divine window.